Giving up on the no-till. You can see that my summer planting that I did last spring did not make it at all. I spent a lot of money on seeds and renting a seed drill and everything. Drilled in a bunch of summer cover crop, and what I ended up with here is there's smartweed and there's quite a bit of the crabgrass. Because of that hot summer, crabgrass loves that hot summer weather, and so does foxtail. So, oh wait a minute, I want to show you something. Here's a couple of soybeans I pulled out. I don't know if you can see that, but notice how the nodules are only an inch down from the seed, down the root. You know, the roots are covered with soil, so the rhizome sheath looks pretty good. But let me show you what I'm doing up here instead. We're just going to go ahead and till up some areas, plant them with my Brillion seeder. And when you do it that way, you always get a good stand. And wanted to go no-till and just do some spraying and drill seeds in. It just isn't going to work with this soil for some reason. So this is how it turns out in the end. We rotary till everything and then go over it with the Brillion seeder, which has Cultipacker on the front, drops the seed, and then there's a Cultipacker on the back that packs the seed and moves a little bit of soil over the top of it. You get a pretty nice looking planting, and I guarantee you that's going to look good in October. Just stand up in that pine tree, or there it is, that pine tree. And what's interesting is that over here in the switchgrass is a very nice sorghum plant, which did not happen out in the field. So why is that? I don't know. The switchgrass may have developed a mycorrhizal relationship in which grass can really thrive. So there's a beautiful sorghum plant in boot stage. It's getting ready to make a seed head. And by fall, if I had a whole field of that, it'd be a big draw. But it just grew inside of the switchgrass. So I'm a little baffled. Also, there's one in there that didn't quite get tall. There's another one. I'm just wondering if maybe when Delmer went through here, he just went into the switchgrass a little bit with his drill. But look at that thing. Man. That looks like foxtail millet there. Gee whiz. This is my 20-year-old switchgrass field, and it is really starting to deteriorate. It's mostly milkweed. I see some goldenrod out there, burnweed. Doesn't look so good. But I wanted to burn it, but the landowner doesn't feel comfortable with that. So let it be. I will show you what we're going to do. I have another place here that didn't get rotary tilled yet. I'm just going to deep till it because looking at those nodules on the soybeans, I'm thinking there could be a little compaction down there, and I got a cure for that. I brought my old implements over to this property, and we're going to see if maybe we can get things loosened up a little bit, get some more air down 6 inches down. So this field here, we're going to work this thing up just around the stand. I'm not going to go down over this hill because it's impossible to shoot a deer down there, just the way the wind is and the way the deer enter this food. I'm going to try to keep the food up this way, draw the deer up so you can get a shot at them. You can sit up in there, and the wind is usually going behind me until the sun goes down, and then it just, if it's still, it just drifts down this hill here. You can't really see it, but it rolls over, and there's a creek down there which sucks all the air down. So anywho, we'll give this a try. There's a little bit of clover in here, but there's a lot more grass than clover. We did a patch with the rotary tiller over there and used the Brillion seeder, so that's all seeded. And I'm going to do this patch in here with the plow. I'm going to plow her up. Okay, we just seeded this down. There's a little strip in the pines here. The deer usually, they come in down at the end there and then move this way towards the bigger field. So if you can figure out a way to hunt them there, that'd be a good spot, but it's really tough because of the way the air moves. So what I want to do, that strip is there. I want the deer to be pulled up this way. Usually they just walk over there and feed, and in archery season you have no shot. So there's the stand for this field, and if we can get them drawn up to here, now I'm only 30 yards from the stand, so we're just going to plant this area and see if that helps with the hunting. It's a great place to observe deer and just watch them doing their thing. And I did kill a buck in this field during rifle season, late in the season, but it's a tough spot for archery. Okay, there she is. I bought this thing at an auction years and years ago. And the nice thing about it, if you hit a rock, it'll flip the rock up to the surface, and then you can pick the rock up. As you can see, I broke it about 10 times, welded it, reinforced it. Over here we got the Brillion seeder. I bought this for like 600 bucks. I think they're 10 times that new, but it's an old junker, been repaired a bunch of times, but it still puts the seeds down and cultipacks everything. The big box doesn't work anymore, but the little box does. So we're gonna get the plow going and get some stuff plowed up. It's great when you have a really rocky spot. You just can't use the rotary tiller because you just beat the crap out of the thing. So we're gonna use this now. Yeah, so that thing gets the turf ripped up, and then we'll go over it with the rotary tiller. You know, everything's loose now. It'll be real easy to rototill. Plus we get a little more air down. Tear all these roots out, rototill them. That'll be the end of the grass and the smartweed and the crabgrass. We should get a nice stand of whatever here. I'm gonna put my fall mix in with some oats. He's getting clogged up and he's not looking behind him, so you gotta look behind you. So I gotta yell at him. Yeah, so once in a while you gotta stop. What I usually do is just back up and dump all that stuff off. What the hell? So you can see how it loosens everything up nice. It's a little tight right there, but we'll get the rest of that with the rotary.
does rip it up nice. I mean,
and then you don't have to go over it twice with the rotary
it's
tiller.
gonna be perfect up there at the bowl and the fence plot when it's rocky.
Yeah. There's some little baby soybeans that made it. But there's some soybeans in here. They just didn't grow.
Yeah. Yeah, if you walk around you can find stuff, but it's...
You can really see what the problem is with this turf. There's so much of this grass, and there's a, see the root mat, and we tore that up with the plow, and now we're grinding everything up with the rotary tiller. We should be able to get this down. This is one pass with the rotary tiller. But I think we ought to go over it again just to get all this grass down out of here, because I don't want it to you know, if we mash that down into the soil again, it'll probably just take off. So we'd like to mash that up and kill it. So I think we'll make one pass. So that'll be 3 passes on here to get it tilled up. That way there's no competition for the new seeds we're going to put down. Okay, the next step is to get some oats on, and then we're going to go over it real light with the tiller to get them buried. Otherwise turkeys will come in here and will eat them all. Also, when it rains, it'll moisten that soil, but when the sun comes out it gets super dry here, so we have to bury everything so that it is always in contact with a little bit of moisture. You can see it, there's good moisture from last week's rain. You know, I can almost make a ball out of that now, but you'll see later this will be bone dry this afternoon. Okay, so the Brillion seeder broke and I have to take it back and get it welded. So we improvised. We just hand spread this and using this old cultipacker to pack it down. It's almost as good. A little bit more work, but it's getting done. This thing looks pretty decent. Alright, the good news is it rained. The bad news is it rained, and it rained hard. So what happens a lot of times is that when you have your small seeds on top, they just kind of wash into these piles and germinate there, and then it's too crowded and then there's nothing over here. So, you know, you just can't win with this weather, but we do have a nice peach fuzz on here. There's oats coming up, and there's clover and brassicas. Maybe before the next rain we'll go over it with some more cereal grains just to fill it in a little bit better. So that's it. That's how we do it, and we'll have a good stand here. It'll come up nice in the spring. We'll have some really nice clover in here, and hopefully we can nurture that and bring it along and have a good stand. Look at this pile right here. That's not good. Freaking weather. You don't get nice, steady, easy rains. Like what we need is a good soaker that just kind of comes down nice and easy, but we got one hell of a thunderstorm here. There's washouts in the road about 10 inches deep. So it could be worse, but it could be better too. So at least we'll have something to hunt over, I think. I usually get, where is it? Up in there. Get right up in that maple tree. Deer often come out right here. There was a 10 point and an 8 point in here. Got them on camera was it 2 years ago? Real nice bucks. So they had to be bedded out there. There's a point out there. They had to be bedded there, and then they came in and were feeding out here, and they're fighting each other and carrying on. It was pretty cool, but did not see them in hunting season because, you know, you got to go easy on your hunting pressure. All right, So any questions, give me a call. If you want food plots on your property, call me. Check out my food plot courses on my website. Website is down below, and I'll see you on the next one.